Good morning. Glad you could join us. So this time of year, there's a song that it's a pop song that came out in the 90s, and actually was on an artist's first album. Her name was Joan Osborne. And it became a big hit for her, and she got nominated for a Grammy. I don't think that she won. She didn't write the song. I think the guy's name was Jeff Bazillion. And he wrote the song actually as kind of a dare for a girlfriend. That's why she said, just go ahead and write a song, and he did. And I really like the song. The name of the song is One of Us. And it asks some really good theological questions, and I think it's thought-provoking, but I also think that it's profoundly sad because I think that people don't understand Christmas. I mean, this song tells you that even though people are talking about Jesus and religion, that they don't understand who Jesus is. And I find that profoundly sad. But let me share a few verses from the song. It says, if God had a name, what would it be? I'd go with Jesus, because I know that's where he's going, that if he was one of us and had a name. And would you call it to his face? And if you were faced with him in all his glory, what would you ask if you had just one question? I think that's fair enough. What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us, just a stranger on the bus trying to make his way home. Well, I don't really like the idea of a slob, but the idea of Jesus just being a normal person on the bus, a stranger, somebody that you don't know. Yeah, to me, that's Jesus. And if God had a face, what would it look like? And would you want to see if seeing meant that you'd have to believe in things like heaven and in Jesus and the saints and all the prophets? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like, well, if God was one of us and what would his face look like, then would you have to believe in Jesus? It's like, but that's who Jesus is. He left heaven. He came to earth for us. And then it talks back to this idea of him being the slob, just like one of us and a stranger on the bus, just trying to make his way home, like back up to heaven, all alone. Nobody calling on the phone except for the Pope maybe in Rome. So he throws a little humor in there as well. But so it got me to thinking, was Jesus ever homesick? And I have some other thoughts on this for another day, but do you think Jesus was ever homesick where he was just like, man, I just got to get out of this place. I got to get away for a while. Do you ever feel that way? Jesus did, and do you know what it was? In Matthew's Gospel, verse 12, and the verses prior to that, talks about the death of John the Baptist. And he died, he was beheaded by Herod Antipas, okay? I mean, it was horrific why he died the death that he did. Herod, he had him imprisoned, and then he has his stepdaughter do this dance, and it's a lewd dance, and he likes the dance. He says, I'll give you anything you want. And her mom says, I want the head of John the Baptist. And so in verse 12 it says, later John's disciples came for his body and buried it. Then they went and told Jesus what had happened. How do you think Jesus felt? This is his cousin. This is his relative. This is the guy that goes before him. It says, as soon as Jesus heard the news, he left in a boat to a remote area to be alone. He just wanted to be alone. He wanted to get away from the crowds. Do you ever feel that way? I think Jesus was homesick. He wanted to be with his Heavenly Father. That's what prayer is. Just sit down in a chair and just say, God, I need some heaven today. I guess I need to connect with you. There's too much that's just heartbreaking in this world. You talk about wrong. John the Baptist, the first voice in 400 years to speak for heaven, and he gets beheaded because of a stupid statement by a lustful leader. It's horrible. But I don't want to stop there because Jesus tries to get off by himself, but then he sees this huge crowd. And he stepped up from the boat and had compassion on them, and he started to heal the sick among them. He wanted so much to be alone, but Jesus somehow connected with the Father enough that when he saw those that were in need, he was moved with compassion. I want to be more like Jesus. I'll never be the source of compassion like Jesus is, but I can get away from things here and I can connect with Jesus. So if you're homesick and you feel like you don't fit in and you hear songs that make you sad because the world around you doesn't understand who Jesus is, find some time to be with your Heavenly Father. Let him restore your soul. God bless you.